Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the sixth grade concept of real-world ratios and rates. This is the 6.4b Readiness Practice, the advanced version. If you are interested in exploring the 6.4b Readiness Practice for the intermediate or proficient versions, or the sixth grade Readiness Practice resources aligned with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description. So we have at two smoothie shops, and they're using two different recipes for their strawberry banana smoothies. First, we need to figure out which shop uses more strawberries per banana. All right, so if we look at that strawberries per banana, that's asking us to find a unit rate here. So shop A has got 5 strawberries per every 2 bananas, right? And then we've got 8 strawberries for every 5 bananas here. So what I want to do is I want to change that into a unit rate. And so I need to think of those as fractions that I just need to end up dividing, right? And so let's just divide up, right? So what is 5 halves, right? So 5 halves, if I want to divide up the 2 into my 5, that's going to be 2 goes in there twice, and that's going to bring us 2.5. So that's really 5 halves is 2.5. And I'm going to put strawberries per banana, right? You could do it like that, or you can just kind of show your answer as a ratio like this. Strawberry over banana. So for every banana, I've got 2.5 strawberries. Let's see what we've got here. We're going to divide that 5 into 8. That's going to be 1. So already you see that the strawberry is going to have more, right? Because it only goes in there once. Let's see if we can get exactly how much. 3. I'm going to bring down that 0, 6. All right, so this has got 1.6 strawberries per banana. So which shop uses more strawberries per banana? Definitely shop A. So let's put that. 2.5 strawberries per banana. Now, if both shops made a large smoothie using 20 strawberries, or 20 bananas, how many strawberries would each shop use? Well, we would just take our unit rates now, and we want to, since that's per banana, we just take each of those and we multiply by 20. So we're going to do 2.5 times 20. That's going to be giving my shop A. That's going to be 10. That's 5. So 500, but let's bring that decimal back, 50. Okay, so shop A would use 50 strawberries. And now I've got my 1.6 for shop B. I'm going to multiply that by 20. Zeros on that first row. That's going to be 12. That's 2. That's 3. Looks like 320, but let's bring that decimal back down. And then shop B is going to be 32. So much less. 32 strawberries. Now, based on your answers, which smoothie would have a stronger strawberry taste? Okay, shop A. By how much? So if we're looking at that 20 banana smoothie, I just need to find the difference. So what's the difference between 50 and 32? Shop A by 18 strawberries. Because strawberry, where I got my 18 was 50 minus 32 is going to give me minus 18. That's the difference. That's what I'm reporting by how much stronger it is. It's got 18 more strawberries for its smoothie. All right, so we've got a water tank here, and it's being filled up at two different rates. Okay, so let's draw a water tank here, and that's going to kind of represent that. So we've got 12 liters per minute for the first 10 minutes. So let's say it gets up to here. And within that time, I've got 12 liters per minute for 10 minutes. And then it changes. It's going to go to 15 liters per minute for now. Well, it says after 20 minutes. So if the first part is 10 minutes, then that second part also needs for it to be for 10 minutes because it's going to be the 20 minutes is for both, and I've already used 10 minutes on that first chunk. So really, it's just two separate unit rates I need to add up. Okay, so my water, and we'll just go ahead and put my volume equals, what's my first unit rate? Well, it's 12 liters per minute for 10 minutes. And then it changes to 15 liters per minute for the other 10 minutes. That's it. I just need to add those two different unit rates and multiply each by 10. So that's going to equal 120 plus 150, right? So my volume is going to equal 270 liters. So that's it. So once we recognize that, it's going to be pretty simple, 270 liters. All right, so we got a farm producing apples and oranges. We have this ratio of 5 to 3. Okay, now if it's 48 oranges, how many apples does it produce? And then what is the total number of fruit? Well, I've got a question mark here, but really they tell us 5 to 3. So if this oranges says a question mark, well, I know it's going to be a 3 because the apples is 5. So let me draw over this to kind of get rid of that. I'm going to say that's actually a 3. All right. So if that's the case, then how many apples are there going to be? Well, if it's 5 to 3, right, what we can use here are two different things, okay? So I'm going to just put a blank right here for 48. So one thing that's going to work is going to be cross multiplication. So when we have equivalent ratios here, we know that this times this equals this times this, okay? So 3 times some unknown number equals 5 times 48. That's what cross multiplication tells us. So I don't know what 5 times 48 is. Let's figure that out. That's going to be 40. That's 24. Okay, so 3 times something is going to equals 240. And so we can just think, well, 3 times 8 makes 24, so 3 times 80 is going to make 240. Or we can divide both sides by 3. Right now we're going to use the multiplication property of equality here. And we're going to say this equals 80. All right, so we can put an 80 right here. There's another way to think about this if we don't want to do it like that. You can say 3 times what is going to get you 48, okay? And if we know that that equals 16, right, 16, 32, 48, then I can multiply 5 times that same thing, because they both need to be the same number, 16 over 16, right, to generate equivalent fractions. And guess what 5 times 16 gets me? 80. So either way, if the farm produces 48 oranges, to keep that ratio of 5 to 3 the same, the apple needs to produce, we need to have 80 apples. Now, what's the total number of fruit produced? We're just going to add the 80 and the 48, and that's going to get us 128. So that is going to be how we answer these two questions. If you are interested in exploring the 6.4b readiness practice for the intermediate or proficient versions, or the readiness practice resource along with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description.